Hi guys, welcome to my channel MWise. This video is about 12 celebrities with serious anger issues. Well, anger, as we know, is a natural emotion. However, how you deal with your anger says a lot about you. Kid Rock. Kid Rock really lives the way you would expect him to after listening to his songs. Even though he hails from urban Detroit, he has taken on a character that paints him as an angry southern redneck that likes alcohol and bar fights. It's funny that his two biggest assault incidents occurred exactly where you would expect them to occur. One was in a strip club and the other was in a get ready for it Waffle House. So the first incident was when Rock was sued by a DJ at a strip club after the DJ claimed that the rock star punched him. This happened down in Tennessee naturally. He pleaded no contest and ended up serving a sentence of almost a year in prison. After that, he had to go 8 hours of anger management classes and pay for the glasses that he broke when he punched the DJ. Rosie Donnell. Rosie has actually made a career out of being angry. She really loves to bicker, and it seems that people like to see her fight on TV. She could definitely use some anger management classes. O'Donnell claims that some of her earliest temper tantrums came from hormonal problems, but we're not really buying that. These types of problems can be fixed with medication. However, she has a long history of shouting and abusing co-workers. She shouted at workers while running her own talk show and while visiting the talk shows of others. She really isn't picky. Of course, she still has a feud with Donald Trump. So if you want to see the old Rosie in action, just mention the billionaire around her and see what happens. Sean Penn. Penn is another one of those male celebrities that really hates photographers. He might be even worse than Baldwin and Crow combined when it comes to assaulting people with cameras pointed at him. He has been doing this for a long time. Remember back in the 80s when he was getting married to Madonna? This was probably the craziest outburst of all time when it comes to actors and celebrities. Penn was literally taking shots. He took out a gun and started shooting at the media helicopters. Penn has admitted that he has taken some anger management classes and that they have helped him greatly in finding his center and keeping his calm. But you never know when he could strike again. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is one of those people that no one wants to get in an argument with. He is one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time, so if he hits you, there's a good chance that you are being sent straight to the hospital. Of course, his anger problems are legendary. Let's not forget that he was actually convicted of rape and served jail time for it. He also assaulted a lot of people outside the ring, including legendary boxing promoter Don King. We all remember after prison when he said at a press conference that he was taking prescription medication. And when asked why he needed them, he answered that it's to stop me from killing you all. Creepy. He was arrested in 1987 for hitting a parking lot attendant. In 1988, got into a street fight and left with a broken right hand. In the same year, he had a fight with his wife and threw some furniture out of the window. While in prison, he assaulted a prison guard. He's had many more run-ins with the law, approximately 15 since 1992. Thankfully, it seems that he has finally found some peace and is even appearing in movies these days. Grace Jones. Grace Jones is another diva with an attitude problem. She has a long history of being violent and aggressive, and she is really tall, so she is really not someone you should be playing around with. When it comes to attacks on other people, Jones has the most memorable on-air attack ever. In 1981, she attacked Russell Harty on a television talk show and slapped him really hard. And this was long before fights on television were normal. But that's not the only incident she has. One of her other well-known assaults was when she attacked the manager of a Eurostar train. Apparently, there was some type of dispute about a ticket upgrade that she wanted, and the train manager was not having any of it. First, she started attacking him verbally, both in English and French, and then she grabbed him and shoved his arm. It took 3 officers to remove her from the train at the next stop. Courtney Love. So if there's anyone known for erratic behavior, then it's Courtney Love, who is the rock and roll queen of temper tantrums. Known for her band Hole and being the wife of Nirvana leader Kurt Cobain, she has been a part of many fights in her days. One of the most famous ones is when she attacked singer KATHLEEN HANNA of the group Bikini Kill back in 90s. She was convicted of assault, after which she had to pay a fine, do some community service and attend anger management classes. But it seems that these classes did not help her much because she continued causing scenes throughout the years. She was a bit worse earlier in her career when there was probably a lot of drug use mixed in the equation. Love has been arrested many times for drugs and assaults mostly. Christian Bale. Christian Bale is like yin yang. He doesn't seem to have an in-between mode of behavior. It seems that he is either very calm and collected, or he is an abusive, angry man. He might not lose his cool often, but when he does, he makes sure that he makes a scene. But his worst scene was during the filming of Terminator Salvation. The poor director of photography was the target of his abuse attack. Apparently, Bale thought that the guy was walking through the set way more often than he should have been. So, all of a sudden, Bale completely lost it and started shouting at the poor man. It was a scene that shocked everyone on sets. Lots of swear words were used, and Bale even told the guy that he would beat him up, only not nicely. There was also an incident a year before when Bale's mother and sister accused him of assaulting them. So, if he is assaulting his family members and the woman that gave birth to him, you can imagine how angry he can get with regular people. Hopefully, he got some of that anger out of his system while playing Batman and having to fight the bad guys on a regular basis on set. Naomi Campbell. This supermodel has a really bad attitude. Some people hate reporters, others hate photographers, but Campbell seems to really hate her help for some reason. She has a huge streak of aggressive acts towards people who are there to help her. If you want to be a personal assistant to this model or a maid, you better think twice. She has been accused of attacking a lot of them. About 5 or 6 different employees have accused her of abuse and assault. She was found guilty of throwing a cell phone at one of her assistants and hurting her, and that's just one of her many abuse acts. She really has a temper, and she has done a lot of community service because of it. So, one of the funniest things about her punishments is that she has been known to always perform her duties of community service in high fashion. If she's cleaning the streets or helping people in a retirement home in return for not doing prison time, she's usually doing it in a designer dress. Also, she has been banned for life from flying with one British airline after being abusive to the staff. Charlie Sheen. He might have been funny on film and on television at some point, but nothing he does in real life is funny. He definitely has serious drug and alcohol abuse problems, but that should not be an excuse for his outbursts of anger in public. The most famous story is this situation between him and the creator of 2.5 Men, which was Sheen's last real job in Hollywood. After he was fired from the show, obviously because it is a family show and Sheen publicly promotes behavior that is not suitable for a family show, he berated the entire cast and crew of the show, and especially the head guy on the show, Chuck Lorre. He also sued CBS for getting fired. He's got a lot of problems, and unfortunately, the anger problems seem to be his smallest ones. This guy needs serious help. Chris Brown. The singer and rapper seems to be a real psychopath, and it's hard to believe that he still has fans. The worst part about it is that he seems to embrace it. Maybe he doesn't realize that he has a problem, which is even worse if that's true. It was proven that he had assaulted his then girlfriend Rihanna. You would think that no one could survive bad press like that, but Brown did. And what's worse, it has not stopped him from getting into even more fights. He had a club fight with members of Drake's entourage, but really, it was mostly Brown standing behind his big bodyguards and yelling at people he didn't read into the scuffle. Alec Baldwin is another one of those guys that you would actually expect to be pretty cool. But he has had a lot of public outbursts that tell a completely different tale. Baldwin especially hates the paparazzi with a passion. First, he assaulted 2 photographers of the New York Daily Times who were just trying to take a picture of him and his wife. Also, there was the time when he called a reporter of the Daily Mail a name that was a definite and obvious homophobic slur on Twitter. Why did he do this? Because the paper reported that his wife was caught using Twitter during a funeral. He also once grabbed a reporter from the New York Post and told her that he hoped that she would die. No one can forget the incident when a voicemail he sent to his daughter was leaked. Yu was 11 years old at the time and even called her a thoughtless little. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson is one of those guys who seems like a really good person on screen. Don't be fooled, because the famed actor definitely has serious anger issues. Not only that, but he's also been known to be extremely racist and homophobic as well. One of his darkest moments was when he was arrested for driving under the influence. Instead of just going to the police station and getting bailed out eventually, the situation escalated quickly. When the police officer approached Gibson, he was met with a terrible anti-Semitic rant spilling out of the star's mouth. He complained that the Jews were responsible for all of the wars in the world. Gibson also has a history of domestic abuse. There is that famed tape of Gibson arguing with his ex-wife, calling her a gold digger. Oh yeah, he also threatened to burn down her home in that conversation as well. It seems that Gibson is losing his nerves as much as he's losing his hair. Too bad, he was quite the likable character on screen most of the time. I really hope you liked the video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more cool stuff.